When did you become the big buck serial killer? When did you start killing bigger bucks versus average basket rack bucks?
Oh man, I thought that was from birth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a tattoo on my rear end. That was actually that's a birthmark. That was a big buck serial killer.
Oh gosh.
I would say in my 20s, I started really knocking down big bucks on a regular basis.
But you had that in your mind,
everybody has
right?
a peak in their life too. I don't really think people get it, but I think you've got a period of time in your life that's about 10 years, maybe 15, where you really have a peak period of where you've got that boyish energy, and you have that you're man enough to be able to dedicate it to hunting or whatever. And there's a peak period of your life when you're really good at this stuff. I mean, when you get to my age, you don't have as much energy, you don't have as much drive, you don't have you don't have that anything to prove anymore. Those young guys like Josh's age,
it takes a lot longer to recover too.
Killing something, he's going to kill it.
Yeah,
Zeke, probably at the prime age, he's got to get out there.
Yeah.
Put the time in.
Yeah, you could do that. Like, you're probably right, Dan. If you're talking about like the public land, doing things kind of the hard way, or a lot of guys your age, Dan, just spend more money on it, to kill big bucks.
Right.
Correct. Yep.
So, which is fine,
One of my cousins is a great hunter, and he's done very well for himself in life after starting with nothing but a bucket and a broom of tar, and now he has a big company. And he said to me after talking to him about hunting, he's got an amazing trophy room with just about everything you can imagine. And I've been telling him some of this beast style hunting, and he's like, you should just spend $1,500 and get a lease. It's like,
yeah,
well, you're probably right, but
yeah, that's another thing. Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
It's funny because Eric and I were talking a little bit about this different areas, and I got a friend up in Buffalo County and
that's where he's got a spot. He's got land up there.
Yeah. Eric and I kind of had the same philosophy, and that's great. And everybody can, I don't begrudge anybody for how they do, but doing it this way for us, it's I guess the reward is different for us. The challenge is different. The challenge is different. The reward is different. And I think Eric, you'd agree. For
me, it's kind of addictive, right? I had a buddy that helped me learn, right, and he said, just spend, sit in the woods. Eventually, something like we said before, will walk past, and I just couldn't do that. So when I found the beast, and then Dan's scouting workshops and all that stuff, it was like, no, this is more me, right? I got to be on the move and finding stuff. And a lot of, again, that same buddy was like, why do you do that? You're not getting anything. And well, now I'm starting to get stuff. So,
it's no different than high school. The thrill is in the chase.
Yep. It is.
When you're chasing a woman down, it's the same thing.
Yep.
I got good friends that, they talk to beasts. They say they're beasts. They want to go do the beast stuff. But when it comes down to it, they just keep going to the same property and the same stands. And, well, that spot's too far. This spot's too much work. When really just, what makes me successful at my age is I just say, well, I'm just going to do it. And I just make myself go and do it no matter what it takes, no matter what the work is.
Mm-hmm.
You really just...
Go ahead, Eric. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, it really does have to come from within. You have to have that want, you have to have that drive, and you have to have that passion. And I don't think that can really be taught. I think it just has to be there.
Yeah, I think Zeke has that.
Can't be taught or bought.
Yeah,
the kid that have it inside.
The kid that asked Zeke, he seems like he really has a passion for hunting. And like, man, if I could tell him one thing, is like, and he probably I think he's only 6, but it's like, buddy, like also like with deer hunting, comparison is the thief of happiness. Like, don't compare yourself to Dan or anybody else you see on TV because you're not them.
Yep.
And me or Dan could kill 4 150-inch deer this year, and someone would say we should have waited for a 170-inch deer. You know, I mean, we get it every time we kill a deer. Dan's 100, you know, that giant deer you killed last year, you know, that wasn't good enough. And you can't let that kind of stuff, people's judgment of you or keyboard warriors really take away your happiness, or your cousin or your buddy or whatever that's telling you, you know, what you should shoot or what's supposed to make you happy. So
that's a really good point, and that's almost one way of answering that question, right? When should you start doing that, or when do you start killing big? When do you really want to do it, right? When are you, if you're enjoying what you're doing, maybe there's no reason to change those basket racks. But if all of a sudden you sit in your mind, oh, I want to do that, then do it. And I think what your point, Josh, was don't worry about what other people think. I know it's hard, you know, when you're a little, when you're a young guy like Zeke, but don't worry about what people say on YouTube. Don't worry about what you read. You know, you got to be you. And it's tough when you're little to hear that and know what that means. But as you get older, you know, you gotta find your own path.
And I would tell him, just enjoy the journey, man. He's young. It's going to come with time and experience, and enjoy every step of it. Because when you get, you know, Dan and I age old, it's still fun, but man, it takes a lot more effort.
Hey everybody, if you like the channel, make sure you subscribe right here. And if you like the clips, I got 2 more options for you. 2 options right here. Subscribe right here. See you guys.